Channel 69, and this is your SMA Network. Today, we'll be talking about joints. Joints have two main functions. One, it holds the bones together, and two, it gives our rigid skeleton mobility. Joints are found between bones. Functionally, they can either be synarthrosis, immovable, amphioarthrosis, slightly movable, or diarthrosis, freely movable. And now let's go to Cindy for a closer look.
And now for a closer look. Bones sometimes are too broken or too severely damaged for their self-regenerating elements. But there are always ways to help these problems. First, the electrical stimulation of fracture sites. They help the healing process greatly in where the bone tissue reside. Another way to fix these healing problems is ultrasound, which can speed up the fracture repairs. Exposure to this helps too, from 35 to 45%. Bone implants are working for adults, but not so much for children because of the growing. This can be solved with self-extendable endoprosthetics. Bone substitutes have been started to be made with coral to help the contamination and rejection of the other substitutes.
Thanks, Cindy. Now let's go to Robin.
Thanks, Brittany. I'm here in the cartilaginous joints, which are slightly movable or amphiarthrotic, and also immovable. The movable joints can be found in the pubic symphysis in the pelvic region, or the intervertebral joints in the spinal column. The immovable joints can be found in the ribs as hyaline cartilage epiphyseal joints. Now onto fibrous joints. Fibrous joints don't appear to be joints. They're immovable joints with little elasticity. These are composed of articulating bone and allow no empty spaces between the bones.
Wow, Robin, that's really interesting. Now let's go to Cindy for information on the synovial joints.
Thanks, Brittany. And now for synovial joints. Synovial joints are joints in which articulating bone ends are separated by a joint cavity containing synovial fluid. The different types of synovial joints are plane, hinge, pivot, condyloid, ball and socket, and saddle. There are also four features which are the articular cartilage, fibrous articular capsule, joint cavity, and reinforcing ligaments. The synovial joints always allow the person to move freely.
That's good to know. Thanks, Cindy. Now let's go to Jazz.
Thanks, Brittany. And now, types based on shape. There are different types of synovial joints based on shapes. The shapes can be plane, hinge, pilot, saddle, candyloid, and ball and socket. For instance, the candyloid joint can be egg-shaped. An articular surface of one bone fits into an oval cavity, helping with movement. In the plane joint, the articular surfaces are essentially flat, allowing it to fit into a gliding movements, which are allowed for movement.
Thanks, Jazz. And last but not least, let's hear from Chelsea.
Thanks, Brittany. Now we'll talk to you about two different types of arthritis. Both of those are considered diseases in the joints. The first type of arthritis is the most common type of arthritis. This one is called osteoarthritis. It is a chronic degenerative condition that typically affects age. 85% of people in the United States develop this condition. OA, also called wear and tear arthritis, affects the articular cartilage. Over the years, the cartilage softens, frays, and eventually breaks down. As the disease progresses, the exposed bone thickens, and extra bone tissue called bone spurs grows around the margin of the eroded cartilage and restrict joint movement. The other type of joint disease or arthritis, which is both the same thing, is called rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic inflammatory disorder. Its onset is insidious and usually occurs between the ages of 40 and 50, but it may occur at any age. Like I said, at any age. Just because you're 25 does not mean you cannot have rheumatoid arthritis. You still can get it. Be careful. It affects 3 times as many women as men. Many joints, particularly those of the fingers, the wrists, the ankles, and feet, are affected at the same time and usually in a symmetrical manner. For example, if the right elbow is affected, most likely the left elbow will be affected too. The course of RA varies and is marked by remission and flare-ups. Now, Thank you for joining us tonight on SMA Channel 69 News. Thank you and have a nice night.
Thanks, Jazz. And now back to Jones. Sign up.
Thanks, Brittany. And now for synovial joints. Synovial joints are joints which are articulating. Oh God.
Thanks, Brittany. And now, types based on shape. Types of synovial joints are based on shape. For instance,
Okay.
The cartilaginous joints. These joints are slightly movable joints, or amphiarthrotic, and also immovable. The movable joints can be found in the pusin.
Thanks, Brittany. Now I'm here to talk to you and explain different types of diseases that may be caused. Thanks, Brittany. Now I'm here to inform you about diseases in the joints. The most common form of arthritis is called the osteoarthritis. It is a
Thanks, Brittany. I'm here in the cartilaginous joints. These joints are slightly movable, or amphiarthrotic, and also immovable. The movable joints can be found in the pubic symphysis. Damn it.
Come on.
I'm here in the cartilaginous joints. These joints are slightly immovable, or amphiarthrotic, and also immovable joints. Damn it, Brittany. I'm here in the cartilaginous joints. Did I say that right? Joints. You're good.
Our executive producer.
Oh, Miss Jones, you just messed up our hair.